Hello and welcome to this wonderful place that we call Grazing Brains. We created this virtual place with the main purpose of trying to help you fall asleep quickly and enjoyably. We hope that for the following minutes you will be able to take your mind out of the busy and chaotic surroundings and direct it to a guiltless place in which your problems and anxieties are forgotten. We will not solve your problems, but we hope to guide your mind to a different world for the next 20 to 40 minutes. Before starting today's story, please put your phone on mute so you can focus on the present and forget about the outside world. Now, let us all take a moment to breathe. Please get in a comfortable position. If your room is cold, put a warm blanket over you. If you feel hot, open a window or turn a fan on. When you're ready, please take a deep breath through your nose for 4 counts and release it through your mouth for 6 counts and intake for 1, 2, 3, 4. Release for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Release for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. While breathing, take your awareness to the sensation of the air passing through your nose and filling your lungs and belly. Feel your belly expand with every intake and flattens against your spine when you exhale. Finally, focus on the sound of my voice or the sound of air coming in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Druid's World. Disclaimer: this story was mostly written with the help of chatGTP. We guided the AI with small prompts and put the text together. Eldrin was a young nature enthusiastic from Frankfurt. He had always been fascinated by the Black Forest, a dense and mysterious forest located in the southwestern part of Germany. He had heard many stories about the forest and its rich history and was determined to explore it for himself. One sunny morning, Eldrin packed his backpack with some essentials and set out on a journey to the forest. As he walked along the well-trodden path, he couldn't help but marvel at the towering trees that seemed to reach up to the sky. The forest was alive with the sound of birds singing and the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. He found a small opening between the trees. It looked like a path, so Eldrin took it. The path that wound its way through the black forest was an ancient and overgrown, a forgotten trail that had not been trodden by human for many long years. The trees that lined the path were tall and dark, their branches stretching out to form a natural canopy overhead, blocking out much of the sunlight. There was thick mist, and the only sounds were the soft crunch of leaves underfoot and the distinct call of a bird. As the path twisted and turned, it led deeper and deeper into the heart of the forest. The trees grew taller and more twisted, their gnarled roots creeping out from the ground like the fingers of some ancient and malign creature. The underbrush was thick and tangled, and the air seemed to grow colder and more oppressive. But despite the ominous atmosphere, there was a sense of wonder and magic in the forest. The trees seemed to whisper secrets to one another, and the mist seemed to part and swirl in patterns that hinted at hidden mysteries. And as the path led to an ancient clearing, a sense of ancient power and magic could be felt, as if the very earth was alive and aware. In the center of the clearing stood a great stone circle, its stones worn smooth by the passage of time. It was said that in the clearing, ancient Druids once gathered to perform their rituals, and the standing stones were a testament to their reverence for the natural world. The path that led through the black forest was not one to be taken lightly. It was a path of mystery and danger, but also of secrets and ancient magic. It was a place where one could feel the weight of history and the power of nature, and it was a place where one could discover the true beauty of the earth. As he walked deeper into the forest, he came across a small stream. The water was crystal clear and sparkled in the sunlight. Eldrin sat down beside the stream and watched as the fishes swam by. He couldn't believe how peaceful and serene it was. The water was flowing gently over smooth stones and pebbles. The sound was soothing, and Eldrin could not help but feel a sense of calm wash over him as he stood there taking in the peacefulness of the scene. A deer stepped out of the trees on the other side of the stream. The deer was a beautiful sight. Its coat a rich, dark brown. Eldrin watched in silence as the deer quenched its thirst. The gentle sound of the water and the peaceful presence of the animal, making him feel as though he was in a meditative state. After a few moments, the deer finished drinking and looked up at Eldrin once more before turning and disappearing back into the trees, leaving Eldrin alone with his thoughts and the soothing sound of the stream. He felt as if he had stepped back in time, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Eldrin felt a sudden urge to explore the area, so he decided to follow the stream deeper into the forest. The trees grew taller and thicker as he walked, and the sunlight filtering through the leaves became double and dim. The sounds of the stream grew louder and more insistent, and Eldrin could not help but feel a sense of wonder and awe as he ventured deeper into the heart of the forest. As he walked, the trees began to close in around him, forming a dark and dense canopy overhead. But instead of feeling claustrophobic, Eldrin felt a sense of protection and comfort, as if the trees were embracing him. The forest floor was thick with moss and fern, and the air was heavy with the scent of moss and damp earth. Eldrin took a deep breath, feeling grateful for the opportunity to be surrounded by such natural beauty. He walked for what felt like hours, the darkness of the forest growing deeper with each step. The stream was now a raging river, the water churning and crashing against the rocks. But instead of feeling scared, Eldrin felt a sense of excitement and wonder as he watched the water flow with such force and power. He could hardly see a few feet in front of him, but he didn't mind. He was too focused on the present moment and the beauty of the forest. As he rounded a bend in the river, he saw a faint light ahead, and he quickened his pace, eager to see what lay beyond. Instead of rushing, he took his time, savoring each step and each breath, mindful of the precious gift of being able to explore this enchanting forest in such a peaceful, meditative way. He came across a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an old, gnarly tree. Its bark was covered in moss, and its branches reached out like fingers towards the sky. The old gnarly tree stood tall and rude, its trunk twisted and contorted by years of exposure to the elements. Its bark was raw and deeply etched with lines of time and weather. The branches reached out in gnarled fingers, twisted and bent as if they are reaching out to the sky. The tree seemed to have a sense of wisdom. It has been standing there for many, many years. It has seen the changes of the seasons and witnessed the passing of time. The trunk was thick and strong, but it is also weathered and scarred. It has survived through storms, drought, and harsh winters. Elder couldn't help but feel a sense of awe as he looked at the ancient tree. He sat down at the base of the tree and closed his eyes, letting the tranquility of the forest wash over. Suddenly, he heard a noise as something was banging inside the tree. Eldrin was intrigued by the strange noise he had heard coming from the ancient tree. He stood up and placed his ear against the trunk, listening intensely. He couldn't quite make out what it was, but it sounded like a faint rustling or whispering coming from the deep within the tree. He wondered if perhaps it was a bird or a squirrel that had made its way inside the trunk. He decided to take a closer look and began to walk around the trunk of the tree. As he walked, he noticed that the tree seemed to be much bigger than he had initially thought. It was as if the tree was alive and growing larger with each step he took. As he rounded the trunk, he saw a small wooden door carved in the bark. He couldn't believe his eyes. He had never seen anything like it before. He hesitated for a moment, wondering if he should open the door, but his curiosity got best of him and he pushed the door open. As he stepped inside, he found himself in a beautiful herb garden. The garden was surrounded by a low stone wall, and a small wooden gate provided entrance. The garden was filled with a variety of herbs, each one carefully tended to and lovingly cultivated. The air was filled with the sweet scent of lavender and rosemary, and the sound of bees buzzing in the background Children could see rows of mint, thyme, basil, and parsley all growing in harmony. The garden was a riot of colors, with vibrant purple and pink flowers mingling with deep green leaves. Eldrin couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. As he walked through the garden, he realized he had found a hidden Druid sanctuary, a place where one could connect with the natural world in a very direct way. He was amazed to find that this sanctuary was hidden inside the tree. The Druids had created a hidden home, a place of beauty and serenity. As he walked through the garden, Eldrin noticed a small wooden house nestled among the herbs. As he walked closer, he saw a small wooden door adorned with intricate designs and symbols, and it seemed to call out to him. He walked towards it and knocked on the door. A wise Druid answered and welcomed him in their sanctuary. The Druid house was a warm and cozy heaven. The walls were made of the tree's natural wood, and the floor was covered in a thick layer of moss. The air was filled with the scent of pine and the sound of birds singing in the branches outside. Eldrin felt a sense of peace and serenity washed over him as he looked around. In the center of the house there was a large fireplace where a crackling fire provided warmth and light. The heart of the house was surrounded by comfortable cushions and soft blankets, perfect for curling up with a good book or sharing stories with fallen druids. Eldrin felt a sense of belonging, like he had found a place where he truly belonged. As he explored the house further, he discovered an altar in one corner of the house, adorned with crystals, candles, and various other Druid artifacts. He realized that this was a place of peace, harmony, and connection with the natural world, a place where he could learn and grow. Eldrin was struck by the wisdom and serenity that radiated from the Druid who welcomed him into the sanctuary. Druid was an older man with a weathered and aged face, aged with lines of years spent in the wild. His hair was long and white, cascading down his back. His beard was also white and well kept, reaching down to his chest. He had piercing blue eyes that seemed to hold a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. He was tall and lean, with a strong and sinewy build. His skin was tan, bearing the marks of a life spent outdoors. He wore a simple tunic made of raw spun wool, cinched at the waist with a belt. On his feet he wore shardy leather boots, and he carried a wooden staff adorned with symbols and ruins. Eldrin couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and respect. As he looked at the Druid, he could tell that this man had lived a long and full life, and that he was deeply connected to the natural world. He could see that the Druid was a master of his craft, and that he was deeply respected by the other Druids. The Druid had invited him over for dinner, and then spent the evening discussing various aspects of the Druid way of life. Eldrin was interested about useful plants and herbs, so he asked the Druid to teach him about the herbs that were trying in the house. This one is yarrow. The Druid pointed to a grey-green color plant with small white or pink flowers arranged in clusters on the top of the stem, then explained it is a perennial herb that is native to Europe and Asia. It is also known as milfoil or soldier's woundwort because of its traditional use to treating wounds. The plant grows to be about 60 to 90 centimeters tall and has feathery, finely divided leaves. The plant blooms in the late spring to early summer. Yarrow is a hardy plant that is drought tolerant and can grow in variety of soil conditions. It is often used in wildflower gardens, meadows, and as a naturalized planting in disturbed areas. Yarrow has a long history of medicinal use. It is been traditionally used to stop bleeding, reduce inflammation, and as a remedy of cold, flu, and fever. It is also commonly used as an ornament plant for its attractive foliage and long-lasting blooms. Yarrow is a versatile herb that can be used fresh or dried in teas, tinctures, salves, and oils. It is also a popular herb in perfumery and aromatherapy due to its refreshing and slightly bitter scent. He pointed to a bunch of dark purple berries. This is elderberry, a very powerful herb with many medicinal uses. We dried the berries to preserve them. Eldrin looked at berries with interest. What kind of uses? He asked. Elderberry is traditionally used to boost the immune system. It is high in vitamin C and other antioxidants that can help fight off cold and flu. It is also being used to reduce inflammation and alleviate symptoms of allergies, the Druid explained. It can be made into a syrup, tea, or tincture, and it is also used in making jams and jellies. And this one, as you know, is garlic, Druid said. May not look much, but it is one of the most versatile and powerful herbs in the garden. Eldrin looked at the garlic plant with surprise. I know garlic, is used in cooking, but I didn't realize it had medicinal properties as well. The Druid nodded. Yes, garlic has been used for centuries in traditional medicine. It is high in a compound called allicin, which has antimicrobial, antiviral, and antioxidant properties. It is being shown to lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol levels, and boost the immune system. The Druid went on to explain that garlic is not just used in cooking, but can be eaten raw or in supplement form. It can also be used typically in salts and oils. It is also natural insect repellent that can be used in the garden. Eldrin was impressed by the Druid's knowledge of the herbs and its many uses. This is valerian, the Druid said. It is a powerful herb that is often used for its calming and sedative properties. Eldrin looked at the valerian plant with interest. I have heard of valerian, but didn't know it was used as a sedative, he said. Yes, the Druid explained. Valerian root is natural sedative that has been used for centuries to promote relaxation and improve sleep. It is also being used to reduce anxiety, stress, and tension headaches. It can be made into a tea, tincture, or used in capsule form. It is also used in aromatherapy as it has distinct and relaxing scent. Eldrin listened intensely, impressed by the great knowledge, the herb, and its many uses. He made the mental note to try valerian for himself, as he had been struggling with insomnia and anxiety. The Druid taught him to be careful with the dosage, as valerian can cause drowsiness, and to always consult with a healthcare professional before taking it. With time, the conversation turned towards the subject of harmony, and Eldrin was eager to learn more. Druid, Eldrin asked, I have been learning so much here, but I still do not understand how to achieve harmony in my life. Can you please enlighten me? The Druid smiled and took a sip of his tea before speaking. Harmony is the key to a fulfilling, meaningful life, he said. It is the balance between the different aspects of ourselves and the world around us. To achieve harmony, one must learn to listen to their inner voice and follow their heart. Eldrin nodded, eager to learn more. What is the inner voice? He asked. The inner voice is the wisdom that lies within us all, the Druid explained. It is the voice of our intuition and our connection to the natural world. To listen to it, one must quiet the mind and open the heart. It takes practice, but it is worth it. Eldrin took a bite of his meal, savoring the flavors and textures. He was struck by the simplicity of the Druid's words and knew that he had much to learn. He was determined to listen his inner voice and follow his heart in order to achieve harmony and balance in his life. While talking, a bird started singing louder and louder outside. Eldrin stood up to look outside the window to see which bird was creating such a beautiful melody. The light outside was so bright, especially after spending hours in the dim house, so he needed to close his eyes. When he opened them, he realized that he was lying on the ground at the base of the ancient tree. He sat up, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. He couldn't shake the feeling of the dream he just had. It had felt so real. He remembered the tree, the herb garden, and the peaceful way of life in the Druid's sanctuary. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, feeling the calmness that had enveloped him in his dream. He felt a sense of serenity and peace that he had not experienced in a long time. He knew that the dream had been more than just a dream. It had been a message, a sign that he needed to change his way of living. He stood up and took a last look at the tree before making his way back home. He knew that he would never forget the dream and the wisdom he had gained. From that day on, he made a conscious effort to live a more harmonious and balanced life, always remembering the teachings of the wise Druid and the sanctuary he had visited in his dream. This is the end of today's story. I hope that the past minutes helped you relax and ease you into falling asleep. If you are not 100% there yet, let us just do a breathing exercise. Count mentally with me your breath intakes and exhales. Concentrate on the counting, nothing more. Intake for 1, 2, 3, 4, and release for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.